We're going to start right out with our first guest. I have Kevin McGuire right next to me, and he's playing Scrooge.
I am. Yes,
you are.
I am,
Are you?
indeed.
Are you a gruff?
I'm having a ball.
You're having a ball.
I'm having such a good time.
I know, isn't it?
It is so great to be that, that man, because he's so happy with himself. I see him as like, he just loves his life. He makes all this money and he cheats people and it's just wonderful. And that's what I'm doing with it.
Humbug.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like Christmas, but he likes the idea of people spending money, which I think is really true for a lot of people. I think people really feel that way.
Picked up the newspapers lately.
Yeah, he's kind of like Donald Trump. I actually said to Michael Bush, who's directing it, I said, I want a comb over. And he said,
wait a minute.
I can't.
Work.
I could, I could dye my hair blonde and shave my beard and do a comb over and just go for full Donald Trump. Because he's a little bit like him.
Funny to do.
Well, that's how I'm thinking about him.
Well, I guess he won't be giving Capital Rep a lot of money in the near future after he watches this. No, he hasn't given us money before, but I guess that's
so. Who cares?
We have nothing to lose, Ann. We're going to do it.
Maggie Cahill is joining us. She's the artistic director. She's not directing this play, but she's the artistic director of CapRep, and a very good one at that. You picked some really great plays.
Oh, thanks, Ann.
You're doing Gypsy coming up, right?
We are. We just had auditions for young people for Gypsy. Wow, we have some really talented people around here. Do you know that?
Wonderful,
really talented. But anyway.
Well, now we're talking about A Christmas Carol, and as I said, it's not your mother's Christmas Carol.
Well,
it's not the
kind
Nebraska.
Of like, it would be my mother's Christmas Carol. My mother would love it.
She would.
There's lots of music. Everybody plays instruments. It's dressed very well, Victorian dress. It's very festive. It's a lot of fun. It tells a lot more of the story because of the way the story is told and the sort of narrative.
Now, this is Patrick Barlow's rendition of it.
Yes.
Right, this is Patrick Barlow, who had the big Broadway hit 39 Steps.
And I saw that. It was just hilarious.
And it's been in the area. It's toured around here a little bit. And in this version, the actors are all very Victorian, but they get to play not only all the characters in the story, but they also play the clocks, the fire, the furniture. I mean, he's very inventive with the way that the story.
They play the furniture?
They do. They play the bed and things like that. It's very funny.
They play beds. They play bed posts. They play. It's fun. And they make sounds and noises and they sort of it's a family show for sure. I mean, kids will love it.
Yes.
They'll be explaining to their parents what's going on, which is what happened when I did.
No cell phones or anything.
No, there's no cell phones.
Like we did in Jane Austen.
It takes place in 1842.
That's
in the time period. It's absolutely in of its time. And so the language is very wonderful because it's very sort of heightened in that sort of Victorian mid-19th century kind of way. And Patrick Barlow, I think, has a great ear for comedy and it's also very moving. I think when Scrooge transforms towards the end, he becomes a human being. He's not like a caricature of a Scrooge. It's all of a sudden he becomes like a person, and it's very wonderful.
He becomes a warm.
He's not leaping around. He's having a great time.
Well,
but
wait a minute. I've watched rehearsals, and you are leaping around. So
I'm a person. But I've become a person, not this sort of cliched idea of a Scrooge.
It's
happy
we have
Scrooge.
done in our 30-year history at Capital Rep, we did Christmas Carol only one other time. And
you did the traditional?
Well, it was fairly traditional.
Oh, do you do anything traditional? I'm not sure.
But we had children in it.
Yeah, fun with it. Yeah.
And in this production, all of the children are played by one actor, and it's really hilariously funny.
So he plays Tiny Tim and
Well, no,
all the
Tiny Tim
actually is a
marionette.
Is a marionette.
Yeah.
Cool.
When I first read this play, and then the puppet, there are two puppets, young Scrooge, little Scrooge, and Tiny Tim. I thought, puppets to me are like clowns. I'm always like, I don't know if I like clowns. They scare me. Puppets, I don't know. But the way Patrick uses the puppets in two scenes in the play is perfect. Because if it had been a child, it would not have the same impact that it has. It's just this innocence of this puppet is so moving and kind of wonderful. When you see it, I think
this is going to be so. Who did the puppet? puppets?
Well, we had to have, the Tiny Tim puppet was made by a puppet maker in Chicago, and the Young Scrooge puppet was made by a puppet maker here in in the region named Morgan Kelly, and she came in and trained everybody on the puppet work. But what I wanted to say to you is Christmas Carol is my favorite story. I'm not a person who, I'm not cynical at all about this story. I think that when it comes to this time of year, it is really a good thing to have a story about the transformation of even the most evil, stingiest person can turn and do something wonderful for the world. And I believe in that
got
message.
it down. I just heard that growl.
Oh, he
out of
does. He's very, very mean in his happiness at the beginning. But I
enjoy being mean to
That's
people.
what the story is really about, though. The story is gloriously inspirational.
It's about the spirit of Christmas. I mean, you know, and Dickens, it's Dickens. So, you know, he wrote about how people can change the world and how people can be mean, and they can also just, love is what really transforms us.
Yeah, you know, I was reading...
It's a great story.
I know, and it's great.
I was reading the history of the story, and it's true that Dickens had just been to the tin mines and seen the horrible conditions of the families and the miners there. And he wanted to write a pamphlet, a social good pamphlet. And so he had promised his publishers that that's what he was going to write. And instead, he wrote A Christmas Carol. And so
look what it's done.
And look what it's done. It really shows you the power of art to transform life.
Yeah, absolutely right.
It really is.
Very important.
And I think that's in this piece. I think Patrick Barlow has done a fantastic job. And Michael Bush is a sensational director. And it's really fun.
So you recommend this for the whole family, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, kids will love it, and maybe it will be their first exposure to the actual, you know, the real story of. Because I think a lot of Christmas carols, they starts off with this mean man. We go immediately to the Fezziwigs, then we go immediately to past, the present, and the future, and then he transforms, and you go, okay, didn't get all that much of the story. We got a lot of, you know,
pieces.
This is because of the way it's told. There's more going on in some way, and there's more of the novel is in it, you know. And
I can't wait to see it.
Which is great. It is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wonderful cast.
Parents have asked me about what age it's appropriate for, and I have said 6 years and up.
Well, one of the things with bringing someone on younger than 6 is they do get fidgety. They're used to TV where it's like boom, 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 boom. And,
this is boom, 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 boom,
it
boom,
does.
boom, boom.
So bring him.
I think there's like 26 scenes in the first act. It's boom, 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 boom.
But the kids don't. Their attention span.
If you're younger than 6, you're used to being able to get up out of your seat.
Exactly.
And other patrons don't like that. So 6 and up in the theater is, I mean, I think it's glorious. So please, if you've seen Christmas Carol before, let me say this.
I couldn't agree. I couldn't disagree
child.
less. I mean, really, because I did Secret Garden for 2.5 years all over the world, and the kids sat stock still while the parents fidgeted. I think kids are fascinated by live performance in theater because they don't see it very much. We grew up on it. You know, our generation, we saw it all the time. Kids don't anymore. People don't take their kids to the theater. They should, because they're riveted. My grandnieces, who are 3, saw something in New York. Their mother said, "Don't take them, don't take them." They didn't budge. They were like mesmerized the entire time. Dancing bears, you know, whatever. They were like, those people are really doing that.
Well, They're know that I certainly believe in what you say about the arts because I truly love the arts. And I do bring them on the show. We have 2 other groups coming on as well because I feel that my experience of probably 6 years old seeing my first theater, I was just like, this is
transported.
It was just the most. It was a miracle to me.
It's incredible. I mean, you know, I remember the first thing I saw.
Go see it.
Bring your kids.
You won't be disappointed. I can guarantee. As with the productions at CapRep, very professional. And if you remember. Kevin here, he was in Man of La Mancha and Red, and oh my goodness, great productions. And this is not going to be any less than those.
No, this is going to be This is going to be great.
Yeah. Thank you both for being
Oh,
here.
and thanks for having us.
We're
It's
going to
always
take
great to be
another-
here.
Happy Thanksgiving.